Ba-da-boom. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. Wait, that's not how it's going. Oh. Anyway, here I am. Anyway, just making sure we are live and good to go. It's been a while since I've done something like this with you people, you nice, lovely, smelly people at home. I can smell you. Imagine if you could smell people on the live stream. That would be hilarious. All right, Chesty. You could smell. Yep, we are live. We are good to go. Right. And I just want to start off by and check this out. Gut health drink. This is good for your gut. Oh, apparently it's a source of calcium. This has these berry gut health shots are made from delicious cold pressed raspberries, pomegranate, not pomegranate, from pomegranate, raspberries, and apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is good for your stomach, yes, giving you a satisfying sweet and sour flavor along with calcium gut loving live cultures. Cheers to that. Oh man, enriching stuff. So hopefully we'll get more people on board. More people on board the ride. Come join the ride, everybody. We're gonna come join the ride. Yeah. I was doing beatboxing, but then just got caught up with. Right. So anyway, let's get to the main event, shall we? Let's start on the topic of bathroom mats. So yes, this is a bathroom mat that you put on the floor. And who's the first to comment? It's none other than Jarf! Jarf in the house, everybody! Yo, the musician from England himself. Jarf, you might be familiar with this story. Apparently, bathroom mats are, well, specifically toilet mats. Toilet mats are getting banned because apparently toilet mats like this, they're not hygienic anymore. So it used to be, fun fact, that we would have, this is going to be like a historical monument put into live stream form. This is going to be documented. Historians are going to look back to this obscure live stream and think, wow, I mean, this is a historical moment. I mean, this is what I've been told. So apparently these toilet mats that you tuck under your toilet, be comfortable for your feet, especially if you were in your bare feet. Apparently, they're not allowed anymore. Apparently, they cause too much unhygienic issues, and I suppose that makes sense. Average, overbearing, overmothering government. Yeah. I mean, I can see the reasoning behind it. I mean, it's a carpeted material, and as much as it's comfortable for your feet, it's just gonna build up bacteria and things like that. Whereas, whilst it's difficult to wash up, it's easier to have it not be there and just wipe the floor by comparison. I can see the reasoning behind it. I mean, we did used to have pink fluffy toilet lids, and Yeah. And what about the hygiene and all those council houses they built and stuff? Oh yeah, yeah. You'd be amazed at the double standards that people can have at times. But if they really are going through with making these not available anymore, perhaps maybe I could use this for like my mat here. It would make for a really comfortable, comfy feet, especially if I got bare feet. Maybe I could put this like by my chair. Where else could I put this? I mean, obviously the rim part here is obviously made to be tucked under the toilet, but if that's not allowed anymore, then maybe the next best thing would be either maybe under my seat, perhaps. Oh, there goes out the bathroom. But working as a volunteer for the homeless, I could tell you that the government is completely detached to real world issues. Well, that as well as the quote unquote journalists, which leads me to my next thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah, journalists are being ignorant again because I've been little birdie's told me about two particular articles that just reveals how utterly stupid and out of touch these journalists have become. I heard this story about this article on CBR where you're not going to believe this, where it says, and I quote, like, "Hey, after 22 years of The Matrix Reloaded, you'll never believe this unbelievable hidden detail in the movie." Oh, wow, okay, hidden detail. Well, The Matrix is full of hidden details. Hopefully this isn't clickbait. So guess what? Neo sacrifices humanity to save Trinity. Oh, mind-blowing fact! Why, I never. What? Neo, he did that? What? You're telling me that the movie spelled out plain as daylight? What? What? What do you mean? Oh man, it's almost as if these idiots are like too busy on their phone to pay attention to what's going on. It's a fusion between information and entertainment, which is destroying the fabric of society. Yeah, clickbaity stuff. We could do without the media, to be honest. The average person doesn't need to know about 90% of what is reported. Local reporting is really the only thing, really. Yeah. And that's why people like you and me and Critical Drinker, and say what you will about Critical Drinker, and independent creators and other people, they've become the actual reliable reporters these days. I made a live stream a while back indicating that we are the media now. That was when the game creators of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 in a podcast said that whenever people like Critical Drinker and such make videos reviewing, the big companies do listen, because what the people who relate to everyday people have, that's going to have a big impact on the products that the big companies are trying to sell us. So of course they're scared, it just goes without saying. Like if you have someone who can relate to the common people, then yeah, of course people are going to get attached. That's why people have been watching Clarkson's Farm, because Jeremy Clarkson has been, reaching out to, the everyday farming community, and even like confronting a BBC reporter. Like, classic BBC. That's my best Jeremy Clarkson impression. Are you hearing this? Why should we have to pay for that? Anyway. For new graduates out of university in the UK, there were 2 million applications to jobs and 17,000 jobs offered. This is a success rate of 0.85%. I saw another video of someone describing the average Gen Z experience. Hey, you want to pay an unpayable debt for college only to live in a miserable apartment for a long period of time? Oh, you're feeling too bad? Here, take these pills. Your chemicals are imbalanced. It's not as if you have a soul that yearns for more, right? Hey, Tech in Combat. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you on board. And before you say I'm doing awesome, yes, I am doing awesome, and so are you, and so is Jarf. Yep, you're doing amazing as well. Yep. He always does that. So going back to the journalist, another comment from Jarf saying, if people coming into university were offered jobs in the media, the news might actually be good. Instead, it's the worst people who have careers which make the most cash and get the most clicks. Yeah, because appealing to sensationalism and constantly getting people to fixate on negative emotion, Twitter, that's going to get a lot of attention. Like, most reporting is just so unrelatable. Exactly, because it doesn't appeal to the common people. And I've had people close to me say, Callum, why don't you keep up with like the news? I have much more important things to focus on. Obviously, it's a good thing to notice what's going on in the world. Don't get me wrong. But the mainstream news, and as well as social media sites like Twitter, are fixated on getting you to spiral in catastrophizing and negative emotions of anger, rage, fear, depression, hostility, tribalism, all that spinning, when you could just focus on actually uniting people together, tidying up your home, doing constructive stuff like going to the gym and improving your mental health and improving your own character on a spiritual basis. Like, there's people who say, like, if you can't even tidy up your own room, who are you to try to tidy up the world? So how can you change the world unless you change yourself? I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. So on and so forth. So yeah, it's good to point out the hypocrisies of these journalists. Like I said, there was one story about journalists pointing out the bleeding obvious in The Matrix Reloaded, which is one example of why these journalists are completely out of touch. Another article that came up, and hence why I've mentioned IGN, nudge, wink, wink, is that Death Stranding 2 has recently come out. And yay, Kojima is one of those game creators who can do no wrong when it comes to the kind of games that he's making. Anyway, Rantover just went to church just to pray because I spent too much time on Twitter and got downtrodden. Yeah, like I said, Jarf, Twitter is made to just get you to spiral and look down on yourself. This is why I never use Twitter. Good on you for going to church and confessing all that kind of thing, because we all need to improve our characters, buddy. And we need to be grateful to ourselves. That's good for our mental health. Back to Death Stranding 2. IGN made a review of Death Stranding 2. And they made critiques of saying Kojima made too many references to his previous works, and he has a problematic approach to women. Oh boy. Where do I even begin with this? Like, obviously, we don't want to encourage lust or anything like that, but these game journalists have no idea what they're talking about. Like, I can understand that the references could get obnoxious at times, but like, it's Kojima, and Japan has the kind of boldness and storytelling that the West is currently missing right now. And honestly, a lot of people just complain, oh no, people are brave enough to showcase that women actually look pretty. It's that kind of ridiculous stuff. Like I say, we can't trust these journalists anymore. Not anymore. I'd avoid Facebook too, but I'm using the marketplace feature. Right. Makes sense. There's other options out there. I'm drinking this gut stuff, by the way. that's the stuff about journalism over with. I suppose speaking of news, recently it's been said that James Gunn, the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, that one Suicide Squad movie, and the upcoming Superman movie, has recently spilled the beans in regards to the goings-on in Hollywood. He's been saying that the reason, and I held this belief for quite some time, that a lot of modern entertainment feels like first drafts rather than finished products. And what do you know? James Gunn has recently confirmed that's literally the case. In that James Gunn has said that the reason why a lot of modern entertainment isn't quite what it used to be is because a lot of people just blurt out the first drafts without actually finalizing the scripts. So there we have it. It seems that it's no wonder then that we've had so many lackluster products, because a lot of them would probably work on the first draft. Yeah. Rush pipelines, zero revision. Yeah. This is why you always need to proofread your scripts and your documents and things like that. It reminds me of this brilliant masterclass trailer with director Martin Scorsese. I can never forget it, where he does this little click thing and then the title, and then Martin Scorsese says, if you don't get physically sick whilst reading your first draft, something's wrong with you. I mean, it's an exaggeration, of course, but it's true. If you're not pleased with the first draft, like something's wrong with you. You're going to have grammatic errors. You're going to have contradictions, and or even if you do make a story that doesn't necessarily contradict it, you need to work on the pacing and the execution of the story, and deliver it in a way that doesn't feel so ham-fisted down your throat. You have to work at it again and again and again to make sure it's as refined as it can be. You'd think that's what people would do, but no. Corporations just want to get stuff out there without any consideration for art. I mean, it's so stupid. Thank you very much, James Gunn. And I mean, obviously, the news itself that a lot of modern Hollywood writers are basically putting in like first drafts. It's like saying water is wet, basically, or air in Earth is breathable. You know, that kind of obvious stuff. But the reason why this is so significant is because this is James Gunn admitting this. Someone who's actually a part of the line of Hollywood directors, one of the most popular Hollywood directors today, him of all people, is admitting all this. It's just a testament to the nepotism. Yeah, quite. I have to admit, I have completely forgotten what nepotism means. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Nepotism. The practice among those with power or influence, or favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs. Okay. Got it. That's what it means. Right. They live in a bubble. And this is something I've mentioned in a previous live stream where I was reviewing the movie Heretic, calling my video Esoteric, Rhetoric, and Heretic. And I remember being so disappointed by that movie. Like, it seemed to be going in a really intriguing direction at first, but then the moment Hugh Grant's character brought up like the Jesus myth of all these other deities argument, I was like, okay, that even Bart Ehrman disagrees with that statement. It's like, okay, this is going downhill. Like, these people don't even bother doing their research on on history and facts and statistics. This is exactly why myself and so many others have grown so disillusioned with this very superficial, sugar-coated way of looking at life. It involves a complete ignorance of history, of various theologies, of philosophies, of common sense, of moral sense, you know, all that stuff, as well as the just all that. So thank you, James Gunn, for mentioning all that. So now, just to lead by example, on to some more positive content. So this will be right up your street, Jarv. Recently, it's been Sonic the Hedgehog's 34th anniversary. Might as well get little Lego Sonic here. You're too slow. Yeah. Woohoo! So it's crazy to think that 14 years ago, they released Sonic Generations. Man, I'm old. I remember Sonic Generations was such an exciting new thing. I remember just keeping up with all the Sonic games up until that point at the time. So brilliant to see them all come together. As well as going to a friend's house to see the HD display on like the Xbox 360. That brings back the memories. It seemed like our favorite Blue Blur's had quite the revival in recent years, hasn't he? Ever since Sonic Frontiers came out, as well as other related media and other games, Sonic's had quite the revival in quality of his media and games. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog has been, as a franchise, especially as a game franchise, has been heavily criticized over the years. But come on, everybody. Let's not kid ourselves. Sonic the Hedgehog has not been the only video game franchise that's had its equal share of mediocre to bad games. So, even though the franchise is still relatively low, it's not just Sonic. Come on, be honest. It's also happened to Resident Evil, Crash Bandicoot, Devil May Cry, just to name a few. So don't go pretending that Sonic's like the only, struggling underdog, as it were. In September, Sonic will be having a brand new car racing game. But what's interesting about this particular car racing game is that it's a complete crossover. And the title really does mean it when it says Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, as apparently Sonic is literally having a crossover with not just other Sega franchises like Yakuza and Persona, which is a first for the Sonic Racing series. But to my surprise, he's also having third-party members, not Sega-related, in the Sega game. I mean, he's done this before with Wreck-It Ralph back in Sonic Sega All-Stars Transform, back when Sonic was making a cameo in Wreck-It Ralph's movie. But this one took us all by surprise. Even though there were leaks about the Nickelodeon crossover, I mean, it was still quite surprising to even learn about that. Sonic is having a crossover with not just Minecraft, but also with SpongeBob SquarePants, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Avatar Legends, apparently. So that'll be interesting to see. It's a bit disappointing that several slots are taken up by each respective franchise. I was thinking that Nickelodeon would have one slot in the character roster revealed, but anyway. Sounds Sonic 06 finally got a fan remake to do it justice. Yeah, so I've heard. The fans have been making a whole wide range of their own inputs into games, like even remaking Sonic 06 to finally make it the game it was meant to be in the first place. Like, that game was only as glitched and rushed as it was because they were rushing to get it released on the 50th anniversary on time. Big mistake, which is something they're obviously going to learn from. But they do have the dignity to acknowledge that it happened, and they do reference the game here and there. In fact, they referenced it in a brilliant way in Shadow Generations with that whole Mephiles fight. I mean, yeah, Mephiles' plan is a bit ridiculous, but he's still one of the only villains to actually kill Sonic. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I need to share this. Okay, so here we go. So what I want to do is share the screen, and yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. So there we go. So I I was honestly thinking that Nickelodeon would take one slot in the season pass worth of characters, but to my disappointment, Nickelodeon's taking up 3 slots of the additional season pass characters, so that's disappointing. But honestly, I am genuinely curious as to who the other 2 characters are going to be. It wouldn't surprise me if in the base game itself, there's going to be not just unlockable Sonic characters like, say, Blaze the Cat or some other characters from Sonic Lost World or something like that. But I would imagine you could unlock other Sega-related characters. I mean, they've got to advertise their new Virtua Fighter 2 game. I mean, they'd be daft not to have that opportunity. So for that reason, I doubt that the season pass is going to consist of any more specifically Sega-related characters. I think the season pass is entirely dedicated to third-party members. But honestly, like, anything's up in the air at this point. Like, Sonic's previously collaborated with Minecraft in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This Nickelodeon, this is a complete first for Sonic. I mean, Nickelodeon's had their own kart racing game, and that's pretty much the only connection for them to be here. So honestly, it's anyone's guess as to who these next 2 slots is going to be. Yes, Jarf, they do have Sonic Riders. They're going all out. They not only have the cars and the bikes, but they also have the hoverboards with Jet and the Storm and what's her name, they're going all in this game, and I've pre-ordered the game, so I'm going to get the Werehog pack, which is going to bring me back to playing Sonic Unleashed for the PlayStation 2, for the PS2. And yes, the game is expensive, yes, but at least getting a physical copy of this is way cheaper than Mario Kart World. So you know what? At least I get my money's worth, especially given how Mario Kart Worlds recently had a very controversial update to its online system, making it less fun. And yes, it is coming to Switch too. Did you get yourself a Switch too? Just out of curiosity. I mean, I'm getting it for the PlayStation 5, but it's PS5. And yes, I do intend to live stream the game. In fact, just give you a little news, I'm planning to live stream PC versions of the first 2 major Sonic kart racing games, starting with Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, which I remember playing on the Wii. There's actually an arcade version in the bowling place here. And I do have Sonic Team Racing on the PlayStation 5. I should live stream that at some point too. No, I got myself a new bass guitar. The bass guitar was cheaper than the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle, right? If you ask me, my guess as to who one of these additional characters is going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be DC. I'm going to make that guess because Sonic the Hedgehog has recently had a collaboration with DC Comics. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Amy, Silver are together with Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Batman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and so on and so forth. So I would imagine that the next bundle would be DC superheroes like Superman to cash in on the James Gunn movie, Batman and his Batmobile, hopefully Arkham-style Batman, and maybe Wonder Woman in her invisible jet for the flying sequences. I would imagine that's a credible character choice. The next one, Goku on Nimbus? I don't know. All right. Nope. As in, nope, the bass guitar was more expensive than the Switch 2. I'm doing some instrument trades. Oh, if I could sell some hardware, then it's Switch 2 to... Oh, clever thinking. I myself, to this day, am still waiting for the prices to drop. It could be a sale, it could be, Christmas time or something like that. But I know for a fact, one day, the Switch 2 prices are going to drop. It's going to drop. I can tell. I'd be happy to play Mario Kart World. I'd be happy to play this game. I'm just waiting for the prices to drop. There is no way I'm getting a game for £70 for the base game. There is no way, especially if you're considering the fact that there's DLC presumably yet to come out. Presumably. Right. So I'm looking forward to playing Sonic Racing Crossworld and live streaming other games prior to that. So, okay. So now that that's done and over with, so we covered that. Let's see. Next topic. Yes. Dune Messiah. Due to the insistence of Squid Bear, we managed to finish listening to an audiobook for Dune Messiah, which is basically an epilogue for the Dune novel. And fairly depressing stuff, quite the tragedy, but really sells home the idea that Paul is not the good guy. Because apparently, when people read Dune, they didn't quite understand the caution that Frank Herbert was trying to give out to people. So Frank went out of his way to make Dune Messiah to specifically say, or not the bird, but specifically went out of his way to say, guys, Paul's the bad guy. That's what I was trying to tell you. I need to do some chores, but I'll see you around. Enjoy the stream. Thank you very much for joining us, Jarf. Thank you very much for your insight. See ya. I'll be with you. Back to Dune Messiah. So with Dune Messiah, there's quite some insight about it, and I suppose should I give away spoilers as to what happens? I guess I'll. Obviously, people who've read Dune will know exactly what I'm talking about, but you know what? In case anyone here hasn't experienced Dune Messiah, I'll try to keep this spoiler-free. Although, in the books, there is literally one part. This is going to make you guys laugh. Where it made Brooks laugh. He was very much looking forward for me to listen to this one part. But when I first heard this part, I just thought, what the? That was my reaction. Basically, there's a scene where Paul Atreides, as the Emperor, is comparing himself to previous genocide initiators in human history in light of his Butlerian jihad. And he's comparing himself to Genghis Khan. And then he has the most unusually casual mention of Hitler ever. Yeah, he overtly compares himself to Hitler in the most casual way possible. I mean, it's one thing that a sci-fi fantasy novel overtly mentions Hitler. It's another thing entirely for a character to just do so casually. It's just so unusual. So Frank Herbert meant for Dune Messiah to be an allegory for Hitler, apparently because people at the time really just have it go over their heads that Paul Atreides isn't meant to be the good guy. So Frank Herbert went out of his way to make Paul as evil as possible, to a reasonable extent that it works for the story, just to make it clear to people, no, you don't get it. He's not the good guy. I mean, Paul kills so many people and he manipulates so many people. And the core story itself is basically about Paul Atreides' conflict between, spoilers for Dune Part 2, his conflicts with his close relationships. On the one hand, he's clinging to power with his marriage proposal to Princess Irillion and seeking to have an offspring therein to further propagate his position of power. on the other hand, his concubine is his real lover, Chani, from the Fremen. And she is just floundering over Paul to try to have a child with him. So that you have these two different women who want to have a child with Paul. And Paul is conflicted throughout the specific narrative. And okay, without giving anything overtly away, let's just say this ends tragically in that Paul clings so much to power instead of letting go of the selfish need for power. Instead of letting go of selfish power, he clings on to power, and it destroys not just himself, but all the people around him, much like the ending of Breaking Bad in that regard. So yeah, I've said it before, I'll say it again, like the Dune series is all about power and what people will go to grasp it. I remember Malika told me that it's not entirely about power. There are people with the need for intimacy within the narrative. And reading Dune Messiah, she's right. It's just that there's so few characters who actually want to seek intimacy primarily, as opposed to power for the sake of power. And so my viewpoint on Dune is growing and maturing, if you will. So now I see, especially with Dune Messiah, that the common theme throughout the series is because people cling on to power in a very selfish way, it ultimately leads to this self-destruction out of sheer pride and hubris. And that's the ultimate tragedy of this entire Dune series. It's that people rise and inevitably fall due to their hubris of being drunk on power. Hello, Baron von Boom Boom of the Metatron community. Welcome, welcome. We've already talked at length about Sonic's 34th anniversary and the implication of the upcoming racing game. We talked about James Gunn spilling the beans on how a lot of Hollywood writers just let out their first script without even bothering to go over their drafts to make a finalized version. We've already gone over journalists being stupid again, and apparently toilet mats are banned now. Having toilet mats underneath your toilet is unhygienic now, which on the one, which I suppose does make sense, because all it's doing is picking up the filth near the toilet. I mean, is it okay to like have like this like across the bathroom floor? I mean, I would imagine it would be okay to have this like by the shower to, just soak up any water that spills over from the shower. I'd imagine. Why is it a crime? But yes, they hold onto a lot of things. Sorry, what do you mean by they hold onto a lot of things? I mean, okay, I'm probably exaggerating when I say it's probably not a crime. It's just labeled as not safe, although maybe I could be wrong. It's just that as of recording this, I've just recently been told that these toilet mats are no longer permitted to use by the toilet. So there's right, they hold a lot of germs and stuff. Right, yeah. Because the thing is, if it's underneath the toilet, then there's the stuff that you have to consider, the stuff that spills over, and the material that goes down the side, as well as the dirt and filth and stuff like that. There's very small stuff that I can pick up, and the fact that it's a carpeted material means it's just a bit more difficult to wash off compared to, say, just having it not there at all. You could just easily just wipe it away. So I can see why, but if you read up the live chat comments, Jarf is pointing out that there could be something wrong with that. Your toilet sprays every time you flush. Sprays every time you flush. Yeah, I guess there is that, and that would spray onto this. Unless you meant spray it clean, right? Um, yes, there is that to take into consideration. Hold on, I'll be right back. Just need to do something. Be right back. Be right back. Right. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? Let's see. Also, to give a counterpoint to Jarf, that is a much larger issue that would require a lot of work, while bath mats are much more manageable. Much more manageable, huh? Um, do tell. Do tell. Look, it's not as if I'm perpetuating. I'm just. This is just what I've been told, right? I imagine someone's going to comment down below why this is such a thing. But you know what? There's inevitably going to be arguments on both sides. But you know what? It's an interesting topic to bring about, isn't it? I'm going to bring out the popcorn, but I don't have popcorn. I have these delicious tiramisu flavor coated Brazil nuts. Fun fact, Brazil nuts have what I think is called selanin or something like that, which apparently helps to contributes to fighting off colds. Something that does not require government funding or meetings. Right. This is good. This is good. Would you care to elaborate on that, Ben, if you don't mind me saying? Just whilst I'm enjoying these amazing Brazil nuts. Seriously, I'm loving the stuff that Grape Tree has to offer. Quality stuff. See, why bother with just pure sugar when you can have sugar and protein? It's just a win-win. Anyway. Whilst waiting for Baron to respond, might as well talk about my new channel. Hello Retro. Just spill the beans on what all that's about. Oh, wait, Baron's coming back to me. To handle government housing, you would need funds and meetings and approval, while just telling people to stop using toilet mats is practically free. Right. So, I'm not going to have the FBI burst it. Wouldn't that be hilarious, though, if, like, right now, just the FBI truck just comes right now, just marches towards my house. FBI, open up! And then just start smashing everything, and then just like tear this to shreds, and then just like beat me to a pulp, like slam my head on the desk, like, and then just like put like a head cover my head, and then like drag me by a helicopter all the way to like Alcatraz or something. That would be hilarious. Oh man. you guys are probably wondering, what on earth is Hello Retro? So this is a new channel that I've made. Oops, I've stopped showing it. That's not what I wanted to do. Get that up. And then get that up. There we go. So my new channel, Hello Retro, involves a collaboration between me and my friend Lewis. You see, Lewis is quite the collector of retro games for, especially from his childhood, for the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2, and the Sega Saturn. And next month, we're gonna be releasing videos entirely focused on the Sega Saturn because it's going to be the 30th anniversary of when the Sega Saturn was released in the UK. So this is more of a collaborative channel. And he and I made plenty of footage, and I thought there's not really much point in having all this footage just displayed on my usual channel because I don't think the algorithm would appreciate it that well. Perhaps by having a new channel, it could appeal to retro gamers to eventually, be drawn into what we have to offer. You joke, but they are trying to reopen Alcatraz. What do you mean they're trying to reopen Alcatraz? I'd be curious to hear about that. What do you mean reopen Alcatraz? Wait, has Alcatraz been closed down? Right, isn't Alcatraz like this permanent high security prison, no nonsense prison? Feel free to brush me up on the details on Alcatraz because all I know is that it's a highly secure prison. That's literally all I know about it. Anyway, so Hello Retro is going to be quite fun, and the reason why we have Mad Max, the alien from They Live, as well as Kurt Russell in The Thing here, is because not only are we going to be discussing retro video games, but we're also going to be bringing up retro movies and retro anime. And we'll also be talking about the Naked Gun trilogy in light of the new Naked Gun film. So look forward to that. Subscribe to the Hello Retro channel if you're into the history of classic games. I'm sure Metatron would like that kind of thing, but that's up to him to decide, not really me. So if you're curious, feel free to check that out. To use it as an immigration detention center. It's been a museum for the past several decades. Really? Huh, I did not know that, but I suppose if Alcatraz has some out-of-date features that wouldn't quite hold up compared to the refinements of modern prison time, then yeah, I guess that makes sense. And in hindsight, why else would you have such stories as Escape from Alcatraz? Because the impenetrable prison is escapable. There's something to think about. So immigration detention center. Well, okay, I guess that's still a type of prison, so they're reopening it for that. Right, thanks for brushing me up on that. I honestly didn't know that. Literally, the only thing I knew about Alcatraz is that it's a high security prison. That was it. And the fact that they even used it for like games like The Escapist, where you have this exhibition of escaping from Alcatraz. Anyway. Good gut feelings. Good gut. Good gut, good times. Giddy gab. Bunch of ghost shows have gone there for investigation. Right. It is very run down and dilapidated. An Escape from Alcatraz is a tale of escaped prisoners from back when it was still active. Yeah. Yeah, it's got Clint Eastwood in it. Yeah. Right. So it has been dilapidated and things like that. Right. So there must be like a modern day equivalent of Alcatraz if that's the case. Okay, what else is there worth talking about? I suppose whilst you're here, Baron, might as well bring up the fact that my friend Malika has recently released a trailer for her upcoming work. essentially, she said in the video that I made with her that that she'd be releasing free songs that she made in collaboration with her fellow university colleagues, as well as some free audiobooks. So recently on her channel, she released, it was a week ago now, she released this trailer here, Chronicles. Mission theme. I love the mission theme. So I don't know if she made that painting or not. I honestly don't know. But Chronicles. I honestly don't know what Chronicles is going to be. I honestly don't know if Chronicles is going to be a bunch of songs. I think The Quiet Room was a song she released on Instagram, I think. So maybe it's a song or something. Or maybe the song's going to be based on one of the stories she's making. I have no idea if this is meant to be a series of free audiobooks or some songs that she wrote. But she said she'd be uploading them on this channel for our entertainment. So she said to look forward to that. But knowing her, she's quite notorious for taking a long time to actually upload anything on YouTube. But hey, she's uploaded something for people to look forward to. So yeah, there's something I just thought I'd mention just whilst you're here. Guantanamo would probably be the closest equivalent. Oh, right, Guantanamo. Okay, where's Guantanamo? Sounds like a prison for guacamole. Let me look into that real quick. Guantanamo Bay Detention Camp, United States military prison in southeastern Cuba. All right, Cuba. It's a reference to Road to El Dorado. Established in 2002 by President George W. Bush to hold terrorism suspects and illegal enemy combatants during the War on Terror. I see, right. Population 15 as of... Let's look into it, Wikipedia. 15. Population 15. What do you mean population 15? That's an... Holy moly. As of January 2025, at least 780 people from 48 countries have been detained at the camp since its creation, of whom 756 have been released or transferred to other detention facilities. 9 died in custody and 15 remain. Only 15. Wow. Whew. Well, if they had no hard time dealing with hundreds, then just dealing with 15 is a cakewalk for these guys. Wow. Absolute wow. So there is fluff on the keyboard that needs to be taken out. I just noticed. Taylor, a healthy reminder, everybody, to clean up your keyboards. You never know what kind of fluff and hidden dangers you could find in there. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Oh, get out. You silly, silly fluff, yeah. Ow, my wrist. Ow. Ow, my wrist. You ever get those moments where you're doing something, but then all of a sudden, for some unexplained reason, you get like this very gradual throb at a certain area? That's happening right now with like this wrist for some reason. Anyway, it's got a lot of bad press due to inhumane treatment and war crimes. Yikes. Well, wouldn't want to go there then. Let's try to avoid going there if and whenever possible. Well, I suppose it's comforting to know that no matter what happens, we're most likely not going to go there. All right. Is there anything else worth talking about here? Oh, yeah. The... still raising funds for the marathon. So Let's see if I can actually get that link up. Just give me a moment. I do have that link, and the marathon, the Loch Ness Marathon, is coming closer and closer. But this doesn't really apply to you, Barry. You don't live in the UK now. But you know what? In case there's someone who happens to be living in the UK, or anyone who has the facility to donate in pounds, boom. There we go. Just in case you're curious, click on this link to support my fundraising. We're almost halfway to our target. But of course, more people will donate on the day. Other things to donate for: support my friend Squid Bear with the sci-fi project. We're coming closer and closer to our major achievement day by day. And what else is there to say? Oh yes, I've been hearing a lot about Iron Fart, and Iron Fart sucks. Sheer hubris. So thank you also for your support. And now a drink. I've run out of that drink. I have this bit of drink left. There we go. So, in light of everything that's been discussed on this live stream, did we cover everything? Bathroom mats, yep. Dune Messiah, yep. James Gunn, journalism's dead. Yep, we pretty much covered everything we wanted to cover. Right. Anyone want to bring up anything else before we end the live stream? If you haven't been to Great Tree, you need to go to Great Tree. Amazing shop. Speaking of Dune, I've been playing the new game. You've been playing Dune Messiah. Dune Awakening. Heard a lot about that game. People have been having hilarity with the big worms. I've been seeing highlight reels of people just fooling around with the enormous worms in the game. It seems like a lot of fun. I'll be sure to give it a try sometime. If I'm not mistaken, Dune Awakening happens during the events of the Dune novel, the first Dune novel. Yeah, I'll intend to get back to live streaming games, especially Death Stranding, the director's cut in light of Death Stranding 2 being released. And I intend to live stream Sonic racing games because everybody's supersonic racing. And it will hopefully get more people invited and hyped up for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Yep, and they don't realize those are young. Good grief! Wow! Oh man, that gives even more significance to the grandfather worm, right? Dune Awakening is a parallel timeline, right? So it's not a canon event. Glad to know. Thank you for the heads up on that. That certainly keeps us informed on things. So I need to head off soon, but thank you for bringing that up, man. So to summarize everything that's been brought up here, Iron Fart is stupid. Malika is awesome. I am raising funds for the marathon. Switch 2 is not having the best of reputation. Bathroom mats are having a bad reputation now, well, specifically toilet mats. Dune Messiah is going to be wild to adapt, and Denis Villeneuve, I've got good faith in what he has to offer, but no, it wouldn't surprise me if he's going to change the source material a wee bit. But the source material he's working with is quite wild, so that's something I actually didn't mention, actually. To put into perspective, basically the time shift happens when a Lady Jessica had a girl in. All right. To put into perspective, basically the time shifts when a Lady Jessica has a girl instead of Paul. Okay, right. Right. So if Lady Jessica has a girl, then that would just continue the cycle of the Bene Gesserit cult, anticipating some kind of male Bene Gesserit to complete the false prophecies that they set up. Right. That would make sense. What else does it summarize? Sonic is doing awesome. And you brought up something else. Wait, that was just me. Right. Journalists are being stupid, and Hello Retro will have more content, especially for Sega Saturn. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Feel free to share this channel with friends and family so that they too can get in on the fun. Raise the funds for the various causes I'm raising funds for. And we'll get back to game live streaming and other regular videos, and I'll be reviewing more movies soon enough. If you want more movie reviews, find my link to Letterboxd at Callum_Scottish, and you'll find my exclusive reviews for movies and stuff like that, like the Phoenician Scheme and other stuff like that. And Baron says, yeah, no. Oh, a D-board. Listen out, Gabe! No, Quizak Hatarak, whatever spelling. Take care. Listen out, Gabe! Right. All right. That's all, folks. Scott Stinker signing out. Listen out, Gabe! I'll be with you. Jesus loves you, by the way.